Lovely. It looks good.
I'm impressed. I would like to do more. Yeah, it's just like I'm beginning, and I'm very happy how it came out. But you know, you can always do better as you go on. Well, we resent the car from BMW, I guess. So all I had to do was paint on it, which was fun to do, doing something three-dimensional. I remember the red dot was so you could see it from the air, and then being very satirical, having a picture on one side and fast on the other side. So it's all a comment on art.
It's a typical Baldessari, isn't it?
Yeah, very much. Well, at this point, I might change my mind, but I think it's easier to do two-dimensional art than three-dimensional art. I think three-dimensional art is more difficult, but I might change my mind on that as I go on. I don't know. I know that I don't care about that. I think about the driver. Of course, yeah, because that's the competition. So I have to be better. I would be curious what their program was. I mean, I think you're very generous in what you allow. I don't know that other cars would be as generous, but I'm happy with BMW. Well, my first two ideas was, I think they all came at once, you know, having fast on one side and a red dot from the top, and a picture of the car on the side. You know, they're all kind of like trademark ideas that I use, so yeah, it was fun. I'm trying to think. I think I've only done one work involving a car in my life, an image of a car. So no, I can't say it's an overriding concern. I mean, it's certainly an icon of contemporary life. I mean, you can always divide up in the world into people that have access to a car and people that don't. And entirely different lives. I mean, I was just over the weekend driving to Malibu Beach for a party, and all the people at the beach there, they had to get there somehow with a car, but how do they enjoy the comforts of nature if they don't have a car? They just sit home like this, or they have to go on a bus. So it's really a big sociological issue, and that's just in the U.S. Think about the rest of the world. I don't know how I started. I don't know if the idea came immediately or not. I think I thought about it a long time. I think, yeah, sure. You know, it's kind of like a woman, you know, she can't make herself up to look good only from one side. You know, she has to look good all around. So that's the problem. It's the first time I've done sculpture before, but it's the first time I've ever, in a sense, collaborated. I didn't design the car, and when I've done sculpture, it's sculpture that I do, three-dimensional. But here I collaborated with the designers of the car, and they have, I don't know if they got to say okay or it's not okay or not, but anyway, we collaborated. And then the challenge comes in making something that is just not understood from one point of view, but it's understood from a total point of view, that one area is not more important than the other. And I think that's the thing that was most concerned, because it's very, it could be very interesting, it could get very interesting right in here, but then that would be at the expense of this and expense of that and so on. So yeah, it was a challenge and I enjoyed it, because I knew a lot of people were going to see it, and it would have no idea who I was, and they, whatever experience they would have with art, some yes, some not so much, and some not at all. So it would have to be, I would have to address a very large public. So there. Well, the reason I did that, I like ambiguity and playing between 3 dimensions and 2 dimensions. So it's one is a contradiction of the other. You have it 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional at the same time, and I think most people live their lives between 2-dimensional images in magazines and newspapers as advertising, and then they might see an image of a BMW. They say, "Oh, I want to buy that." So then they move to the 3-dimensional image, and they realize their dreams. I think I like all of it, and I think if I liked a single part, that would mean that I was not successful, but playfully I can say I like the red here and the green over here, because it says, don't pass on this side, you're going to get killed. Pass on that side, it's safe.
The yellow line on the hood.
Yeah, that was because I used yellow back here, and I didn't want to have it just in one area. And in my work, you can see up here that I tend to use primary colors. I'm a big fan of Matisse, and he used the red, yellow, blue, green, yellow, green, blue, and violet. But I limited this to the 3 primaries, red, yellow, blue here, because I thought adding your greens and violets and blues, violets would be too confusing. Yeah, and I think it works very well. I'm very happy with it. I guess I could just call it fast, couldn't I?
Is that crazy? To me, it was a piece of art, and now it is something that's going to be priceless. So to race something that is one of the art cars, it's iconic, and to finally have your name put on it, and to be able to sit in it and drive it and know that it's gonna stand the test of time as a piece of art, for me it's a huge privilege. I think when you're a race car driver, once you sit inside and I can't actually see what's outside and you get to racing with people, hopefully you forget, because if that's in your head, then you'll never want to touch anybody, because it's a beautiful piece of art.
So.
3, 2, 1.
Runter, runter. Jens? Right here, gentlemen. One more right here, please, gentlemen, right up here. Yes. Right. So we made a little video with all the other.
You really gotta be somebody already I going with the party, Bobby.
Young and mid-career artists have a chance to come in a residency program. So we see ourselves of that.
Tu opinión nos interesa. Si tienes algo que decirnos, envíanos un mail. Esperamos tus sugerencias.